Yep. All right. So I tried to get on Twitter, but it doesn't seem to be working. And here we go. You're on live, sir.
Oh, that's good. That's good. How you doing? I hope I got
All
that.
right. I'm all right. What's going
Oh
on?
man, I got the wrong camera. All
Yep.
right, that's better. What's going on? What's good?
Not much, man. Not much. I was trying to go live on Twitter, but it doesn't look like Periscope is working with Twitter right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Twitter, something's going on over there right now.
yep.
Something's going on.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm glad you hit me up, man, because
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at the wrong camera now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad you hit me up because I've been saying, I said we kept missing each other except for that black and
yeah,
cyber.
I know. I know.
So well, I guess we're gonna do it officially unofficial now. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. We are live on YouTube, and this will be uploaded after the fact. I'm Davin Jackson. This is Alpha Cybersecurity, and with me, I have a special guest, someone I look up to and respect and admire, my big homie Ty Wilson of
Uh-huh.
Cover6 Solutions. So, this literally just happened like hours ago.
Yeah,
So I didn't prepare any questions or nothing, but screw it, let's go.
yeah, we could just free, freestyle it and
Yeah.
see what
So
happens.
yeah, man. So like I just said, man, the last couple months have been like a whirlwind for both of us. Uh,
Yeah.
I've I've been everywhere, and everywhere that I'm not, you seem to be.
Yeah.
And
What I saw was like we were ended up being on the same platforms, but you always beat me to the punch when it comes to like marketing and retweeting. So I just keep quiet and be like, I don't want it to look like I'm trying to steal his shine. So, but you always beat me to the punch.
it's crazy.
So
It's crazy because like I'll sit there and I'm like, all right, we go on different stuff, and I'm like, man, you guys got to get Ty on here. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's scheduled. I'm
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
or
yeah.
then I do something else, and then I'm like the blacks in cyber. First of all, shout out to the blacks in cyber
Uh-huh.
conference
Yeah,
because
for sure.
that secret convention was like a secret to me. Like I didn't know who was on the panel
Mhm.
until like the day before. Like
Yeah,
they sent me my headshot, and I was like, oh, that's what's up. And then
yeah,
like, 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, and then it was like, oh, and Ty's on there. I was like, oh,
yeah.
okay. Like
So the funny thing about that, and shout out to them for getting me on there, is that I filled out my profile hella late. You know, and I think it was probably the day of. So they had no headshot, no marketing, no nothing. So my apologies to the Blacks in Cyber group, and thanks for getting me on.
yeah,
But it was fun. That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
We need to do that more often.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Hmm.
You know what? It was a good look to just to see a bunch of us on there, and we could all have we could all have a conversation about our experiences, and then on top of it, the number of people that were on that
Hmm.
hit me back personally. It was just like, it was so helpful. Like
Right,
that definitely was
right.
important. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just tried to do it on Twitter again.
Okay,
I just put the Periscope link on there directly, and
okay.
Twitter's like, nah, we're not doing it.
Hey,
So
how can I share this? I didn't mean to cut you off. How do I share this
um,
on Twitter?
right now I guess we're gonna have to use the YouTube link.
Okay.
So
So I see Ashlon and Mr. Frankenstar. What link are y'all using? Can you put it in the chat? Yeah.
I think if you're subscribed to my channel, you should have probably got to
Okay.
know I'm
Okay.
live.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to bring that up right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there it is right there. All right, so we're just gonna.
Yeah. I'll tweet it out. I'll put it on my Facebook too.
Where we at in the chat? Here we go.
Maddox 12. Did you make yourself a drink, Davin?
Nah, not yet, man. Not yet. So I've been I've
Uh-huh.
been working on this stupid Python script. I'm trying to get this
Uh-huh.
Python script working, uh, where you can use Nmap. Oh no, maybe I got shadow bans.
Uh-huh.
I can't tweet anything right now. I just tried to put the YouTube link up. I can't tweet anything. Maybe did I do something today? What I piss off?
I think it's all the Twitter is down right now.
Oh, okay, good. I was about to say I ain't pissed nobody off yet.
Uh-huh.
Can I add it to Twitch? I can't. I didn't go live on Twitch, or did I? I don't think I'm live on Twitch right now. But there will be stuff on Twitch coming soon. But anyway, yeah. So you know what? Take this opportunity to let the people know who you are, because I could talk about you, but you know I'm gonna let you speak for
Oh
yourself.
man, shoot! How long-winded can I be? Now, just the quick and dirty. Tyrone Wilson, the founder and president of Cover6 Solutions. I've been running Cover6 since 2013. The primary reason we even have a company is because I started a meetup group for cybersecurity professionals back in January of 2012. The group pretty much exploded. We're almost at 8,000 members. So it allows me to do a lot of the marketing and everything for the company, which does training, cybersecurity, consulting. We just started an MSSP program, got our first client. We do some staffing and recruiting. Yeah, that subscription money. Yeah. So, you know, I joined the military right out of high school. I'm in year 24. So, you know, I think the high heavens. I don't have any grays or anything. I try to stay stress-free, but unfortunately, with everything going on, you know, it started to give me anxiety. And I don't know if that's from work or from, you know, my PTSD kicking in or what, but, you know, I just try to maintain, try to keep going, try to keep growing the business. I feel like my mission is to help as many people as I possibly can. You know, my approach is more like I guess you can call it the Michael Jordan approach. So I'm not really that rah-rah with it, not militant. I'm not, you know, I don't be cussing and stuff online like my man D-Jax. You know? You know, Dia just let him have it. You know what I mean? I'm more of a kind of behind the scenes, help as many people as I can. And I really don't even want the credit. I feel like their successes is my reward. So that's me in a nutshell.
Nice. For the record, it takes me a while to start cussing people out. But yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
I gotta get sometimes that ZFG mentality gotta kick
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
yes, so and the crazy thing is, I was following Ty for a little while. 'Cause I saw what he was doing. Maybe this was about a year ago now, because it was around this time last year when we were supposed to meet up at Hacker Halted.
Yeah.
And but a couple months before that, a mutual friend of ours, Tori, reached out to me. It was like, "Yo, you gotta check this guy out. You gotta check my boy Ty out. He's in the same space as you." And I said, "All right." I said, "Well, let me see, you know, because Tori, shout out to Tori. I actually just posted it on Facebook. I'm gonna see if he sees it." But like I said, I grew up with Tori from like the 5th grade, and if Tori say good people, then you know, they got my vote. So I started checking you out. I think I saw a talk with you, Lou Arnold, and Izzy.
Okay.
In Twitter. You were streaming it on Instagram, and I was like,
Okay.
I said, yeah. And it's crazy because I had just really started putting myself out there more on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see, you know, like I said, you and then Lou out there, shout out to Lou.
Yeah.
And I was, man, there's 2 other brothers on here. I was like, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
you know, and like I said, and then you reached out, and then we chopped it up, and like I said, it's just been love ever since, man. And like I said, I mean, when I am going through it and cussing people out,
Mhm.
you, JB,
Yeah.
Tracy, shout out to InfoSec Sherpa.
Uh-huh.
Y'all be the first ones to hit me like, yo, you good? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
just you know, and like I said, I greatly appreciate that because, like I said, I try to be as transparent as possible. And like I said, with me going through it a couple months ago, and I was like, yo, I got to step back, and y'all were just like,
Mhm.
look, do what you got to do, but you know, come back. So like I
Yeah.
said, I definitely that like to me that means a lot. So
Mhm.
you know, if you don't hear it any other time, you know, I'm gonna give you flowers right here on live in front of
Oh
everybody.
man. Yeah. Thanks, man.
So, and then the other thing, you know, I see you out here, you know, you getting fit, you doing your walks, and I'm like,
Of
damn,
course.
you know, and it's crazy because you know you see people a lot of times you see, you know, other people in the field, and you want to get that competitive, or you feel like they're rivals, and I look at it like, man, I see what you're doing, I see what
Mhm.
JB's doing, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I got to step it up, and it's just a motivation thing, and it's just like, and I hope it's the same way. I'm not to get into our personal messages, but it's like
Uh-huh.
I'll hit you up like, damn, I see you, and you like, I see you too.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you know, you grabbed my attention with that post about the OSCP,
Right.
and you know, you allowed yourself to be vulnerable and everything. And I was like, man, I know that guy. Like, I know that feeling. Then also, you know, we were talking about seeing other people, you know, put the content together and doing things, and you started your blog and everything. Whenever, you know, people hit those milestones, you know, I feel like I hit those milestones. I'd be like, we made it. You know, Jay Bizzle posted his goal to to what 100K
Yeah.
today, and you know, I was like, I just want him to get it.
Yep.
You know, I
Yeah.
want him to get it. Best believe I'm gonna be trying to get it too.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? And it's like, hey, you
But I
know,
want him to get it.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you gotta uplift one another.
Yeah.
Which and the funny thing is since you're on here,
Mhm.
we're gonna have a real conversation
Cool. Let's get
because
it.
I've been having so I guess like I posted early, like I've been having a real shitty week, right? And I'm not
Mhm.
gonna get into the details because you know, like as much as I cuss people out, a lot of stuff I keep,
Mhm.
you know, I keep off of social media. But I was gonna post it today, but I figured I was gonna ruffle some feathers. I just never got around to it. I was like, yo, we need to really, you know, we talk about supporting each other, and we
Mhm.
talk about, you know, building our own table, and you know, if y'all not gonna let us in, you know, we gonna do it ourselves. But it's like, you know what? Are we prepared to have a conversation about the crab in a bucket, the crab in a barrel mentality, right?
Oh man.
Do we really want to are we prepared to have this conversation about, yeah, we got a lot of
Yeah.
outside influences trying to hold us back, but if we're honest with ourselves, there are a lot of our own that do more damage than those outside entities, right? And sometimes it's the ones that are closest to you. And as much as I'm prepared for most of that stuff, right? And I see,
Yeah.
right?
I don't. I.
As much as I'm prepared for most of that stuff, when it happens, sometimes it kind of get, you know, you kind of get blindsided by it. And that was a situation that I found myself into earlier this week, where basically it was said that I didn't get to my whatever you want to call it. I don't consider myself to be successful, but I didn't get to whatever this level of this is on my own merit, and it really like pissed me off for a second. Like I almost had to break out the resume and drop it on it, but then it was just like, you know, I was talking to my older brother, and I was like, you know, you hear the conversations when, especially again, and I'm not trying to leave out other communities or other groups of people. I can only speak on the people I know. But in the black and brown community, there's this facade that, you know, when you get to a level of success, a lot of people come and like, don't forget where you came from, you know. Oh, don't get too big, don't get whatever, you know. And a lot of us feel pressure to kind of keep a lot of the same people that we had around when we were younger, you know, because you don't want to give off the impression that you changed up. But as I was talking to my brother, who's also fairly successful in his own right, he was like, yo, D, you know, it's not about being successful and changing up. It's about once you reach a certain level of success, especially something that you worked hard to earn, it's a level of maturity. And in that level, and in that maturation phase, you outgrow certain people, so you shouldn't feel bad that you've grown. And I was like, yeah, you know, and I've heard that before, but I guess it was just like maybe because this one hit so close to home that I was like, I was really sitting, I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, man, I get it now. Like, there's just some people you just can't take with you. And it was just like, all right, you know, cool. And it's like the moment I decided I was gonna do that, it was literally like a weight was lifted. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to pose that question today. Like, yeah, we can talk about, especially in the climate of today, we can talk about other people that will try to hold us back. But what do we do? But what do we do to our own that try to hold us back?
Where do you want me to start? Where do you want me to start? There's so many things to touch on there in those statements. So I would say the first thing is, why? Why would you let yourself worry about what other people have to say? As long as you're being a good person, you're genuinely being a good person, and you're genuinely trying to help the people, sometimes you can't help what your perception is. So the reality is different to everyone, but there's nothing that you can really do about that but continue to be yourself. Every 2 weeks, I feel like I draft up this Twitter post, and every 2 weeks it says, sometimes it be your own people, comma.
Yep.
You hate to see it. I never send it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because, you know, you have eyes, you know, you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
I normally let the world figure itself out, right? The dust is going to settle eventually. When I started my company, you can probably look it up. The very first IG post basically says, I'm starting my company and I'm coming, right? So you either lead, follow, or get the hell out of my way, right? Yep. So I genuinely want to help as many people as I can, even if they don't like me, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. I see people that have different techniques than I do. I probably wouldn't handle myself that way or market myself that way or have that approach. But everyone's approach is different. Everyone's audience is different. So the same way that you don't want them to knock you, you have to remind yourself not to knock them as well.
Right.
Also, when it comes to that whole crabs in a barrel thing, and you know, you mentioned doing damage, you got to be a little bit more specific with the damage part, because I don't see damage as like someone like specifically spewing hate to another person or group. I feel like the damage occurs when there's not enough unity there. I feel like the damage occurs when the when there's an opportunity to support individuals that have laid a pretty good foundation and could help you, but it may seem like that the research wasn't put in to like make that happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like even before me, there's plenty of OG Black folks out there that are doing it and have done it, you know, and admittedly, I never reached out to them either, asking for help and what are some tips, right? I just had a mentor that is really, really successful, and I would just ask him for tips, and then I just grew into what it is now.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are a lot of groups out there. I feel like if there was, you know, a primary portal, I guess, point of contact, website, like there is a lot that could be accomplished. Mm-hmm. But the fact that there's so many options, it feels like it's being watered down more than it already is to begin with. And it doesn't have to be that way. So what I try to do is when I have the opportunity to support, I try to support. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the best, you know, anyone can do.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. There are definitely some outlets out there, like I said, what you're doing with your company. Paris Athena, shout out to her for, you know, she launched a Black Tech Pipeline. And like I said, there are definitely a lot of other people out there. And to your point about, you know, reaching out to people, you know, I have reached out to people, especially in the beginning. And, you know, some of them were legitimately busy and some of them just kind of left me on red. And, you know, you talk about the Jordan mentality. I had the other side of that Jordan mentality where it was just like, all right, where he took everything personally. Mm-hmm. And was just like, all right, now I'm going to go drop 40 on your head now. And that was the approach that I took a lot in the beginning. Uh-huh. And now with, you know, with people like you or, you know, even with my blog and stuff like that, I definitely want to help out by talking about some of the roadblocks that I ran into that I wish someone could have, you know, let me in, like, hey, you know, you don't necessarily have to do this. You can move this way. So, you know, like I said, so big kudos to you and everybody else who's definitely trying to do that, because, you know, there's already a disadvantage just from a self-esteem standpoint sometimes, where people feel like they're not smart enough to get into the field. And then when you listen to some of the stories, I mean, shit, I think if I heard someone tell me my path to get into cybersecurity, I probably would have been like, nah, I'm good, you know. But that's where I think the passion for the field and stuff definitely plays a role in it. So what would you say is what would you say to someone who wanted to get in, as to what, you know, they should look for before even pursuing a specific field in cybersecurity? Like, for example, I tell people, you know, understand what your why is, because if it's for the money or if it's for something else, you need something stronger than that. Because on the days where you can't get certain things to work, or on the days where you're on and InfoSec can be real toxic, that money might not be, you know, good enough. So you really need to find something that's going to hold you even in those dark times. So what would you say your advice would be to anybody?
I would say do it. It's going to be like eating an elephant, right? One bite at a time. You're not going to finish until you take that first bite. Everybody's path is so different, and that's what's amazing about this field. There is no one set of instructions that I could give someone. If I was to do it, I would say find someone that you can relate to that is already doing it in the field, that's doing something similar to what you want to do, and then stalk the hell out of them, follow them. I mean, I've had mentors that I've never met, but I know about them. I know about their families. I know where they're going to be speaking next, right? I know their entire conference discography. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I got it. I get jammed up too.
And you can just take that approach until you actually figure out what your primary passion and goals are. And it's okay if they change, right? I used to say things at my meetups, right? I'm kind of even embarrassed to admit it. But, one time, a good friend of mine, he got up in front of the crowd and he was like, cybersecurity, if you don't love it, leave. Leave, because, you're getting in everyone else's way. And for a while, that was like my stance, right? Like, you gotta love it, because I loved it and it worked. So I figured everyone else had to love it too. But, I'm realizing that you don't have to love it. You can do it for the money, right? You can do it as a side project. You don't have to, practice at home. You don't have to have a lab at home. Will it probably affect you later? Maybe, right? It just depends on who you want to be. Do you want to just be in the league, right? Do you want to be NCAA, Division III, Division II, Division I, right? Do you just want to make it to college on a scholarship? It's all about what you want, right? I want to be a perennial all-star. So therefore, I'm going to be like Kobe. I'm going to have a gym in my home, right? I'm going to wake up and get those shots up.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? In my lab. So it's all about what you want.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to take that clip, and that's gonna be like a quotable.
Wow.
but yeah, like I said, I agree 100%. Like, yeah, you can get into the field and you can have your motives, but yeah, if you definitely want to make an impact, you're gonna have to put in the work. And like I said, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to, my hashtag I always put up, to always bet on yourself, because sometimes you're your only cheerleader in the field and outside of it.
Yeah.
So I agree 100%. So speaking of stalking and what their speaking engagements, what do you have coming up?
Sure. So Hacker Halted this week. I'm gonna be on the We Hack Purple podcast. I thought I was gonna be in VetSec, but that didn't work out. It was a miscommunication there. I think that's about it. We're doing a CT. We're having a CTF on Monday for DC Cyber Week. I haven't posted that yet, but I will. And a lot of the talks just really just finished up. So the CISO stress with Skype, and Wendy Nather and Lawyer Liz, that was fun. I just did another one with Alyssa and Chloe and Phil. So that's going to be posted soon. I believe they posted it already. Phil Wiley.
Yeah. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Chloe and Alyssa, yes.
There's another one coming up, I think, on the 29th, but I forget. I'm so sorry if I
Yeah. I got, man, so I'm doing We Hack Purple, but I'm not doing that till like March of 2021.
Yeah, I don't think I'm no, to November.
Yeah. So, but shout out to Tanya. Yeah. So I'm on there sometime next year. I have something coming up with Caroline Wong from Cobalt. I have something coming up with O'Shea Bowens, who moderated our panel.
What's up, O'Shea?
I have something with him coming up soon. Jeez. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, there's
I was supposed to speak at John Jay, but that got there was a miscommunication with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
What's up with the there's a new iteration of ShareTheMicInCyber.
Yes.
Shout out to them, to Camille
and Lauren.
Yeah.
And everybody involved with that. I know I'm gonna make sure we get that date so we can start tweeting that out.
The 23rd?
Yeah, that's next week.
I think it's the 23rd, yeah.
So yeah, we did the first one. Listen, to anybody, and I don't care what your orientation is or what your skin color is. That is an amazing event to just be a part of, and just to even get to know other people who you may have not otherwise known. Like I said, the last one was definitely memorable, and to me that was a game changer. So that was and the funny thing with that is that was the week I had decided I was actually going to step away, and I was like, you know what, but I made these commitments, and you got to honor your commitments, and honestly I'm glad that I did. I got to meet some great people. Shout out to Selena Larson. She was my partner, and she was just great. I made a new friend in her.
Katie Nichols.
Yes. Katie, you know what? Yes, shout out to Katie. She actually referred me for a talk, but I couldn't make it. But yeah, shout out to her. I actually sent her a message to ask her a question about something related to SANS.
Okay.
But hopefully she'll look at her inbox one of these days. But I know she's busy. I know she's not leaving me on red.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. Is anyone able to tweet right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I still can't. It says Twitter is over capacity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So something is happening.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
What keeps you going? What's your why?
You know what? It used to be just, again, that I'm gonna drop 40 on everybody mentality. But honestly, what brought me back is the wanting to help people in creating a platform. And also, again, it's just, I like puzzles. You know what I'm saying? I like puzzles. I like the challenges that cybersecurity brings, whether it's pen testing, OSINT challenges, TTFs, cyber forensics. I swear one of these days I'm going to get back into cyber forensics. To me, doing a cyber forensics investigation, I loved it because the couple times I got to do it, it almost put me in the mind of the person we were investigating, and I love that whole, that whole mentality that you get with it. To me, it was for a while it was like a big video game. It was just getting root was beating the final boss, and then like I said, it just when you start to have to deal with certain things, and that's as you progress in your career, whether it's dealing with the toxicity of InfoSec, or sometimes the red tape and office politics that you have to deal with, that kind of seeps in and muddies the water a little bit. And like I said, that's where you got to take a step back and reassess, reanalyze, and come back stronger. And like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize, breaks are important. I can't do it like I used to, 5-10 years ago, where it was yo, I'm gonna put my head down and I'm not gonna come up for air until until I pass, or until I achieve whatever goal. Breaks are important. Having a strong community. So like I said, you, JB, shout out to Marcus J. Carey. like I said, when I was going through it, he hit me up and was like, "Yo, call me right now." And I talked to him, and he introduced me to the book, The Four Agreements, which definitely changed my outlook on things. So but that stuff keeps me going. I don't necessarily do it for the accolades. Like, sometimes it can be a thankless job. Helping, putting this information out. I don't get paid I don't get paid money for my blogs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if other people do, but I don't. So that's like a labor of love. Putting out that information, or even making myself vulnerable to put myself out there and talk about my failures or my challenges. But it's just to me, it's like, you know what? If there's one person in the world who's going through what I'm going through, if whatever I put on that piece of paper or I put on that website, if it opens their eyes or gives them a different outlook or helps them in any way, then I did my job. And honestly, to me, that's definitely been important to me, especially this year with everything going on in 2020.
Yeah, that's very noble of you.
Yeah.
It was a couple of things, and it was by design, right? So the first thing was, I put my daughter's name in the company logo. So whenever I felt like quitting or was tired, I just go and look at it, and I'm reminded as to why I'm doing it. The other thing was the people, and this meetup group that we've had the last 8 years. And there was so many times where I thought about like giving it up, right? Like, I'm tired of finding someone's basement at these apartment complexes. I'm tired of buying all this pizza and drinks and all this stuff. But after every meetup, when I'm talking to everyone, it makes me realize why I do it. And you can literally see that the growth in the meetup is a direct reflection of the growth in the company. And I feel like it's the people that keep calling me back, like those relationships that you build over time, seeing people's growth, wanting to come to the next meetup, to hear about, some more accomplishments. And then, I keep a kudos folder. Wait, a shout out or email or tweet or anything, I screenshot it, put it in the kudos folder. And, and that's my reminder. I look at, my alumni list for students. I like getting the, the notifications in Facebook. Like, I had my anniversary of my very first Pentester Prep workshop, from a few years back. So, that was pretty cool to see. Or sometimes I would screenshot new milestones in the meetup group, and I remember being excited that I had 400 members in the meetup group. I remember being excited about 100 because it took us 9 months to get 100 people in the group. So, for everyone out there that might be struggling or whatever and looking at the numbers, don't look at the numbers, right? For something that you're building, picture it like a savings account, and just keep throwing stuff in there, and you keep creating content, the people will come.
Yeah, you've told me that a couple times. He's like,
yeah, the people will come.
Yeah,
it'll come.
Nah, definitely. So my thing is, my other question is, so where do you find the time in the day, right? Because that's something I'm trying to figure out between, work, making sure I'm present for my family, creating content, still studying. Where do you find time? Because as a business owner, people look at it. Some people who are on the outside and think that entrepreneurship is freedom, right? Like, oh, I can work my own hours. and it's definitely not the case. Like I have, my stuff that I do. It's nowhere near the stuff that you got going on. But I also look at my wife who does custom cakes. Shout out to One Room Cakes and Treats. Yes, I'm plugging my wife's business. If you're in the Georgia area, you need a custom cake, holler at her on Instagram or oneroomcakesandtreats.com. But
good man right there.
I see it. You got to.
Yeah.
But I see her. Whether it's spending a whole day putting out invoices or updating her social media or her menus, and that's before she even turns on an oven. So I sit back like, man, I live with somebody, and I'm still like, I can't figure out where you find the time. So where do you find the time in the day?
Honestly, I was just tired of being hungry.
Yeah.
My life hasn't been the greatest, right? I explained a lot in my keynote.
Mm-hmm.
You make decisions as an entrepreneur that may not be the smartest. You learn from them. But I'm stubborn, right? And I didn't want to ask for help because I'm stubborn. I wanted to prove to myself and the world that I can do it. I had a plan, I had a mission, and then I felt like any deviation from that plan or mission made me a failure, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
So the time comes from just that drive to want to do it. It's really weird, but you will make time. You will find ways to do things when you can do them. Like if I'm driving, that's my opportunity. Well, not if I'm driving, like if I'm traveling or if I'm in an Uber or something, like I'm not going to waste that time. I could use that time tweeting about something. I could use that time scheduling a tweet or something. Watching TV, that's more time to do some marketing. Like there's times where you work. I like to work when everyone else is sleeping so I don't get distracted. Or early in the morning. Sometimes I have to sacrifice a workout, but I'm going to get it in. And people ask me all the time, like, how do you do all of that? Where do you find the energy to do it all? And my response is, and it's primarily because I'm not where I want to be. And I just feel like it doesn't even feel work. It just feels like I'm building towards something that's not finished yet. So therefore, although it is work, it's just me adding to a foundation of something that I've already created. And sometimes it's hard to put it down because as a business owner, you want to be responsive. So people will send emails and chats like all hours of the night, and you want to show that you can respond to all that. But I'm realizing, and my body is telling me that I can't do it all by myself. And that's okay. It's hard to let it go, right? This is my baby. 7 years in the making. So I feel like anything that had the Cover6 name on it, I took pride in that. I wanted it to be my face, my vision, my voice. But I'm realizing that there's a lot of talented people out there. And fortunately for me, there were other people that also believed in the Cover6 mission and were willing to help and be there for me. And we were talking about, the motivation and drive earlier. And although I've had some good bosses in the military, tons of bosses there, and even in some of my civilian companies with my managers like Vince Jones, Ted Arthur, Lisa Donnan, Teresa Payton, great individuals, but I always struggled publicly saying that someone was my boss. I don't know what it is. Some people can do it. Some people can stand right next to a person, walk in a room, and be like, "Hey, this is my boss, right here."
Yep.
I struggle with that hard. Plus, I always have this entrepreneurial spirit because I wanted to have that flexibility, not just personal flexibility, but the flexibility to make moves for other people without having to ask. And that's what kept me going. Like that was my thing. So I was gonna struggle with it, or, and this is the best part, this entrepreneurship actually will tell you who you are. Right? It's gonna tell you who you are. It's kind of like New York. Like I always hated New York, but I went to go work in New York for like a week and a half, and I loved it because New York has that Royal Rumble feel. There's so many people out in the streets, but nobody gives a damn about you and who you are.
Yeah.
They're just focused on their mission of getting to the next place, and then once they get there, then if you're there, they'll chat it up with you.
Right.
So having that Royal Rumble feel, to me, that's what the entrepreneurship is. That's what this InfoSec field is. And I love it. I feel like I'm addicted. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
If anything, I struggle with constantly being a professional.
Yep.
You know, like you have a Facebook life and a Twitter life and a LinkedIn life and a sun just went down life.
Yep. Yep.
And you try to find a good balance of them all without people thinking that you ignorant.
God, yeah,
You know?
it's like another level of code switching at times. But to your point, it's like that old saying, adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it,
Mm-hmm.
And this will definitely, whether it's the entrepreneurship or even working in this field or dealing with hard times, it will definitely show you who you are a lot quicker than other things.
Uh-huh.
So, a couple months ago, I was on live, and you posed the question to me about when do you know you've done enough, and you stumped me on that one, right? Like I couldn't come up with the answer, and I probably still can't. So I'm gonna pose that question to you now. When do you know you've hit that mark? When do you know that you've reached that point and it's enough?
Like success?
Yes.
I'll know that my success is enough where other people are being successful just off of the strength of like knowing me or like mentioning me or something. You know how they say work until everyone knows your name, right? And I used to joke about that. I used to say, one of these days, my resume is only going to have 3 things on it. It's just going to say Tyrone E. Wilson. That's it.
Google me, bitch.
and it's funny you say that, and it's going to sound corny, but I actually said that in an argument one time. In a bar. And I remember asking my friends, I was like, did I really just say that? And they were like, yeah, dog, you really just said that shit.
I had something similar a while back, and like I said, I don't flex too often, but I was negotiating something with somebody, and they basically they thought I was, I don't know what they thought I was, but they definitely thought they saw, they had me in a position to say some of the things they said, and I hit them with the Ron Burgundy, the how can I say this? I'm kind of a big deal. Right? And it was like, and I didn't say it in a way like I was really being conceited, but I was just saying it just to kind of let them know, like, nah, I'm not a pushover. But I remember
Yeah.
saying it, and my wife just bust out laughing, like right then and there while I'm on the phone, and I was like, I'm like, listen, I'm not like, I was like, listen, I don't talk about it. I mean, yeah, my LinkedIn has a couple letters behind my name for the certifications, but damn it, I do some stuff around here. You like, I know some shit. So it's like, how dare you? It was like a how dare you? You have no idea who you talking to type thing. And it was just like, all right. I had that one moment. It's like, all right, now I need to go and put in like 6 months worth of work to make sure that statement was valid. But every once in a while, you know what? It's definitely good to just sit back and just be like, I'm that guy or I'm that girl, like sit back and look at your accomplishments. I mean, sit back, you look at the crowds, and the fact that I'm gonna flex a little for you, like we did, like I told you on that call, on that Blacks in Cyber talk, flex a little bit, you run the biggest meetup group, you got a great company, you are doing your damn thing. So yeah, absolutely. Take a step back and say, Google me, look me up, and it's a great feeling, especially when you've earned it and you're still working towards it, and that everything that you've gotten to this point it wasn't handed to you. Like you clawed and you fought for it, and like I said, I always try to make sure I surround myself with like-minded people, or even people that I aspire to be, and you are definitely one of them, sir. I'm not going to keep it too much longer because I got to find some time to get some reading and this Python script in. But for those of you who don't know, you need to go follow Ty Wilson. Ty Wilson, you could tell him your socials, but and if you haven't registered for Hacker Halted, please do so. If you haven't seen his talk, I'm sorry, I gotta flex a little. His keynote. If you have not seen his keynote from the last Hacker Halted, like to me, that's when I was like, oh, like when I saw that talk, I was like, oh yeah, that's somebody I can go to war with. Again, just your honesty, just the fact that you left it all out there. Like I was watching this shit on YouTube, and I got up and gave a standing ovation, like, damn it. And I was like, so, and again, like I said, I love to see people who I respect and admire, or people, hell, just people who I know deserve it win. And like I said, sir, you are definitely one of those that I look up to, and you are getting everything that you got coming to you because you earned it. So I salute you. I do not have a cup, so I cannot toast to you.
That's all good.
When all this COVID stuff line up, square up, or we get some type of normalcy back up, me, you, Bizzle,
everybody, yeah,
we
Thanks,
need to get together. So.
Thanks. I try to stay humble. I realize what you're saying, and I try not to ever flex, right? But sometimes you gotta let it come out of your mouth just so you can remind yourself who you are and what it is. And it's not necessarily to bring anyone else down, but it's to ensure that, you don't let yourself get down. Because people will try to steal your happiness, and things will happen to where you end up doubting yourself.
Yep.
And one of the issues that I had was I was always comparing myself to where I wanted to be. And because I wasn't where I wanted to be, I always felt like, I was a failure. But I feel like my moment was the hacker halted, at the end, and you can't really tell, but in the end, I can see the slides. So the very first slide was like, who is Ty Wilson? And then at the beginning of the talk, I kind of explained. But towards the end, the slide came up again. But I knew that there was going to be more bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never felt so confident other than that moment when I was standing on the stage. And then it hit me. I was like, yeah, Tyrone Wilson. You can feel it. You can feel like that surge. And I was like, you know what? God damn it. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys gotta definitely watch that video. Because like I said, when you did it, I was like, yeah, talk, yo.
I was like, you know what? Like, I am that.
He was like, I'm Tyrone Wilson, and I just
fucking work that.
I was like, yes, yes.
You're not supposed to drop that first F-bomb on your first keynote, but
hey, but it was just you saw it. You saw the emotion. You saw the raw, and it was the thing. It was you saw the moment. It was a real expression at a real moment, and like I said, I was just like, I got up. I was like,
yes, it was a long time coming, right? It was a long time coming. Just everything, the work, the relationships, like everything just culminated to that moment.
Yeah.
And now I just try to make sure other people have that moment. Yeah. And I tell people, there's going to be a time when you finally realize who the F you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to feel good. So just try to stay humble with it,
Yep.
Just try to stay humble.
Yes, sir.
Publicly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Publicly, but privately, sometimes you gotta go in the mirror and cuss your own self out.
Yep, that's real. That's absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely need to do this more often, man.
Listen, anytime, man. Anytime. Like I said, I know Cyber Warrior keeps saying he's gonna get us all linked up, but I was like, listen, you hit me up today, and I was like, oh yes, let's do it, because like I said, man, it was just like. Again, some people could look at it like, oh, it's like oh, that's my rival. But I looked at it like I said, I always look back at that message when it was like, it's time, bro, let's get it. And then to see, I'm like, boom, I'm booked here. And then I look over and I'm like, oh, he's booked there. And it's a great feeling to see. And it's even greater when it's someone who you respect and admire and care for. So, like I said, all the luck to you, sir. Keep going, keep pushing. I'm gonna be parallel as long as I can. And like I said, we gonna get on the same stage a little more.
One day, yeah.
But like I said, but other than that, you got your stuff. I told you, anytime you want me to come on to your platform, I'm there. You have a standing invitation here. Whenever, shit, I'll hit you. I'll send a link, and you just click the link, and anytime you'll pop up. All right, let's do it. So, all right, sir. One love to you.
All right, D.
You have a good night.
Take care.
Take it easy.
All right, bye, everyone.
Peace. All right, so let's see. Before I get to that, let me just look at the questions. I don't want to be rude. Did Twitter just get DDoSed? I have no idea if Twitter got DOSed. It looked like Twitter may have gotten DOSed. And let's see, one last one. I love the challenge as well as striving to become one of the best in the field. Alshon Banks, yes, keep going for it. Do the work. Like I said, there's going to be times where it's going to be difficult, but you heard from me. You heard from the man himself.
You didn't even take questions, dude.
Nah, I just started. That's what I said. I looked at them like, oh, there's a couple, but it's only 2 questions.
Okay.
So let's see. Can you add it to the Twitch? Like I said, I'll probably download it when it's done. I'll probably shoot. I'm gonna try to shoot the link over to Ty too, so he can put it on his stuff as well. And yeah, like I said, that's all it was. The Twitch question. Did Twitter get DOSed? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? And like I said, you want to be one of the best in the field. You got to put in the work. And if you're gonna be one of the best, then you'll see us soon enough because we're gonna be right there with you. So, if anybody else, I don't know if anybody else has anything. Because like I said, Twitter, Twitter still ain't doing nothing. So I don't see any questions. So, if you guys missed the live and you see it when it comes up on YouTube, drop any questions into YouTube. I will, I'll take a look at it. I'll let Ty know if it's questions for Ty. Oh, geez. That's what we did before I said bye. You got to tell them your links, man.
Oh, sure thing. I'm pretty much Ty Wilson 21 on all the social media platforms. And then for the company, it's Cover6 Solutions, COVER, the number 6 solutions on all the social media platforms, because branding is important, right?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. We do got one question. Let's see. Alshon says CEH versus Pentest Plus. Both. And I'm going to say why. CEH, a lot of people in the ethical hacking community frown upon it, but it is a good baseline certification to get. And also the HR the companies are looking for CEH. Pentest Plus, from what I've dealt with from the beta testing and everything, it's a little bit more difficult than CEH.
It is like you literally need to have performed, like the more pen test engagements you've performed,
yeah,
the better off you'll be.
Yeah, and wait, you did the CEH practical, right?
I did.
How was that? I didn't do the practical.
I didn't think it was. I mean, let me stop. It was challenging.
Okay. Well, like I said, so I would say both. To start your career, I would say get the CEH, and then to build on it, then work on the Pentest Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been teaching the Pentester Prep for years. I've been in the OSCP labs, so those exams weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, but they weren't. But they were.
Yeah. Yeah. I got unfinished business with the OSCP, but I got to make sure I'm ready for it.
Get it, man. Xavier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a OSCP study group.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hit him up.
They try to. I haven't been able to join, but every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna hit him up on Instagram.
And who else? Tiberius has a Discord channel that's really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did the auto recon script. So like I said,
yeah, he's got the Windows Privesk.
Yep. Of course. So yeah, I got his, and then I also got
Heath's.
Heath's. Yeah, Cyber Mentor. So yeah, like I said, those are both two good ones. So yeah, like I said, I got a couple things I'm fleshing out. Like I said, and I'm gonna jump back into it. Like I said, that's gonna be the lead up with everything that I'm doing with the setting up Kali Linux and all of that. It's literally going from the ground up, from setting up the VM, getting Kali on there, and then once we get it set up, we're gonna move right into TJ Knowles' CTF list for Bone Hub, and then move on to Hack the Box. Try Hack Me, where I'm gonna try to get a lot of those in, and then obviously you can't talk about the OSCP labs, but yeah, are there any good InfoSec videos on Hack the Box? Are there any good study resources?
InfoSec has a search.
Oh,
site.
yeah.
InfoSec Rocks search site.
Yeah, with the link to videos on different techniques. Yeah, I saw that. Any good CEH study resources? I have a couple on my blog site on the recommendations page. Just look in the book section.
I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad that I can't help with that question because I just decided to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's a couple books. Cybrary, I think, has an ethical hacking course for free.
Try Hack Me.
Try Hack
Do
Me.
a lot of the Try Hack Me labs.
Yep,
It's free.
Yep, it's free, and yeah, or shoot, follow me. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm building up to it, so you'll definitely get the hands-on from me real soon. But yeah, like I said, there's a couple books. I would check out the recommendations page on my blog. Try Hack Me to get the hands-on experience, and yeah. Oh, and like I said, if you could look at Udemy. Udemy is always having a sale for $10.
Our CTF this Monday is going to be designed as a certification assessment. So the tasks in our CTF room will be broken down by Network Plus, Security Plus, CEH, EJPT, CEH Practical, like OSCP, and depending on how well you do in those, then that CTF will tell you how well you will do in the exams. That's what we're trying to do.
So Alshon, so you see that? So link up with Ty and get that information on that CTF going on next week. So all right, for reals this time.
Yeah, for real.
We gotta go. All right, I'll holler at you guys.
I'll have to crack this Gewürztraminer.
I'm jealous. All right. All right, peace.